Hello.
Hello.
I'm Ryan Hamilton Smith for See Pigeons, and I'm here with a pigeon. Today we're here to talk about fast food companies taking more responsibility in their marketing and comparing it to perhaps drug and alcohol companies and similar things. So, first question. Do you believe the criticism on obesity in society needs to have a stronger focus on the fast food companies rather than the individuals?
I reckon I've perceived a strong focus on blaming the fast food companies in the past before, and I reckon it should shift away from that. That I still think people can be victims, but they're victims of themselves rather than victims of McDonald's. Like it's sort of like an attempt to take all the blame off themselves by saying, well, I'm a victim of very clever marketing that got inside my brain and forced me to eat, but I don't think that's true.
I wonder if it's like perhaps somebody who is going to fall victim to such advertising might fall to advertising in other areas or other vices as well.
Yeah.
So to be hyper vigilant about worrying about such things, perhaps it was inevitable anyway.
Well, yeah, I mean, does that mean whenever we watch TV, we're victims of all of the advertising that happened? And if we one day utilize that company's product or whatever, we were a victim of unfair subconscious targeting.
Well, I guess the question would be if the companies knew that they were actually actively targeting the people that they knew were weak in their eyes. Not to say that people are weak, but
if you could get a statement from McDonald's or KFC where they say, oh yeah, we require people to eat more than is healthy for themselves as part of our business model. If you got that statement, then you could ask them to change their ingredients or whatever. Like there'd be a precedent to ask for change in that regard. But otherwise, they're just doing what any business does and is legally allowed to do.
Yeah. Well, I guess my questions kind of also aim towards more of like the public's opinion as well, of people. If people are angry at the companies or are angry at the individuals. So, question 2 for you: with drug or alcohol addiction, we tend to see people as victims or as sick. Do you think we need to move the public image of obesity into this realm as well?
Yeah, if you could actually say that the ingredients used in McDonald's is actually addictive, like that there are actually addictive chemicals or anything like that. Alcohol, scientifically proven to be addictive. Drugs, same thing. Food, not so much. I don't think a cheeseburger has a chemical that physically compels us to return to it.
From what I've seen from more recent studies, however, our perception of addiction is quite skewed, and it needs to be kind of reevaluated. Without going into it too far, it's often a lot more situational. From only the things that I've seen recently, it's often more situational than based on the actual substance involved.
Right. So you mean psychological? Do you mean like
yeah. So if you're happy, if you're in a good place, those things
you won't want to eat McDonald's.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, in that regard, then help should be available for anyone who's for all forms of self-abuse.
Yeah.
Overeating and obesity, because it is a health concern.
Yeah.
And it is a routinal thing that people struggle to get out of. So in that way, you could approach it as a psychological addiction. Yes, you could. However, that still is their issue. It wasn't McDonald's or KFC that taught them or compelled them or forced them to do any of that.
and there's several other things like this. Like obviously drugs, alcohol, gambling are very highly regulated, while similar things, perhaps like fast food or microtransactions in gaming,
Right.
Kind of
Yeah, they're definitely
line.
preying on people's, not insecurity necessarily, but maybe there's got to be more names for it because I can't think of one.
Yeah,
But it's definitely preying on something.
yeah, they definitely edge closer to just. They're almost in line with those things, I believe. Like,
Yeah, they want kids who don't understand the value of money yet to
Yeah.
get their parents to give them all the money they can. Once again,
anyway,
that's parents and stuff.
wrapping things up with question 3. Your reaction to finding cheap or free food in the gutters is one I'm sure of feathery excitement. Are the companies aware of this and are preying upon that feeling? And this ties into what we were just talking about. Are they aware? They are simply preying on those feelings for you. Do you feel like that way?
I feel like if people didn't eat so much, there'd be more food left over that I could feast on. So, yeah, fat people are the enemy.
Better note than any to end on. So thank you. Thank you.
Peace.